Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. I'm Terry Flewis from the Football Terrace, joined by Michael from Footy Says. Let everyone know a bit about yourself. Where you from? Your channel?
East London. Footy Says is a show where we go to a barber shop and we do Footy Says Uncut. We talk about main debates in football topics, and we also do face to face for big games, depending Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Tottenham, whatever it can be. We go out there and we just buy a lot of football content.
That's it. Go check out Footy Says, an amazing channel. I've followed them for years. Really good content, and their stuff in the barbershop is quality. So go check that out. We're obviously watching Chelsea versus Spurs. We have just seen Christian Eriksen score a ridiculous goal to equalise for Spurs. And of course, Chelsea fans out there, Spurs fans out there, we want to hear from you on 0203 606 0315. Before we do any of that though, please download the One Football app. Massively important to us here at the show. It's an amazing application for all your stats, league tables and breaking news stories. So get that done. And on top of that, the Ultimate Football Fan, we have our own app as well. So make sure you download that. All the information is in the description below. Before we take any calls, I mean, what's your view on that first half? For me, like, Chelsea dominated the majority of the game. Spurs weren't really in it. But goals, special goals change games and change moments.
They needed that because they had no width and they were trying to go narrow. And Chelsea obviously saw that and they defended quite narrowly as well. So, I mean, watching the first half, I was thinking at some point, half-time, take off Ali, bring on Lucas Moura, take off Lamela and bring on Harry Kane, just so you have your main goal threat in there and you have a natural right winger who is just going to go out wide and just try and whip crosses in. So I thought they needed that goal to come out of nowhere because they weren't going to get any other goal from the first half, to be honest.
Absolutely. And Spurs' record after conceding the first goal this season, I think it's 5 draws, 1 win, 5 defeats. So the odds are against them. Only 1 win in 19 away games at the current top 6 sides in the Premier League. So a lot for Spurs to do. They weren't in the game, but Christian Eriksen has given them a lifeline now. From Chelsea's point of view, I think maybe not statistically the most dominant team. We'll have a look at that in a moment on the One Football app. But they were having the better chances. I thought they were in control. Maybe it was too easy for them.
Yeah, it's good. It's good because Tottenham are a possession football team anyway. So it's good to be able to dominate a game without having the ball. If you're able to control them going forward and not having any issue with them coming with their attack, then you are in control of the game. You're not worried about what they can do. And then Chelsea got their goal from Hugo Lloris being quite eccentric.
I mean, it was really silly. Having said that, even if he hadn't come out, if Morata puts the ball in that bottom corner of his head, Lloris probably wouldn't have saved it anyway. But it doesn't look good for a goalkeeper.
It doesn't help your defender. I mean, if you're Sanchez and your goalkeeper calls for it and he runs out and he's saying, "I've got this," because you can see Sanchez sort of ducked. I don't think he should duck. You should always keep your head up anyway and try to head the ball out just in case. But he sort of ducked and it let Morata just...
It's an interesting one as well because Maurizio Pochettino very much lauded as being a very good manager at the moment, and I think rightly so. But you've got Toby Alderweireld and Danny Rose. We'll come back to that in a minute. We'll take this call first. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, mate. Who am I talking to? What's your name?
Ben.
Hello, Ben. Who do you support, mate?
Tottenham.
Okay. Give us your rundown on that first half then from a Tottenham point of view.
I thought we were a little shaky in the back, but overall I think we're really attacking at the moment. I think it's a 50-50 game at the moment. The only thing, in my opinion, that I think should change is our back. Because as you could clearly see, after we equalised, within 30 seconds, Chelsea were on the attack again, and we could have been behind. So, in my honest opinion, we got, in that second half, all we need to do is toughen up our back four. I think we have a go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you say change the back, what would you do? What specific changes would you make?
Well, I'm not really talking about like substitutes or anything. I'm more talking about like, have a good half-time talk with the lads and, just obviously give them confidence that, with an equaliser just before half-time, the game isn't just in Chelsea's hands, but now in Tottenham's hands as well. And I think just, a little more talking in the back four, a little more organisation, and everything's good.
Did you think that the attack was a bit too one-dimensional? Do you not think they may need another outlet in terms of how they attack? Because I feel like they're going too central. I feel like they're not using the wide men enough. Because obviously Eriksen will cut in, and Lamela, being purely left-footed, will also like to cut in.
Well, that's a good point you made, but at the minute, I wouldn't really change our attacking system. I think everything's on point, to be exact. My concern is, like I just previously said, is just our back four, really. That's about it.
Mate, appreciate the call. Thank you very, very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Look, what I'm about to say as well might infuriate some Spurs fans, but Pochettino, I think he's a very good manager. I think he's on his way to potentially being a great manager. But you've got Toby, Danny Rose. For me, the best centre-back in the Premier League in the last few years, and arguably the best left-back. Yeah. I know they both want to leave the club. I think that's quite obvious. They want more money, or they want to go. But his reaction to that is to pretty much to cut them out of his team. They're on the bench or they're not in the squads. They barely ever play. There are other managers in the Premier League. Guardiola got criticism for doing that with Yaya Toure last year. Jose Mourinho's had criticism for it this year if it's been Luke Shaw or Pogba. And I just think you're playing Chelsea away. You've got two of the best players in the league in your squad. I understand his viewpoint of you don't want to be here, you're not going to play. But is he not potentially costing Spurs points? Is he not potentially costing them trophies with that stubborn attitude?
I can't argue too much with that. I mean, when you've got Alderweireld, who I agree with being one of the best centre-backs, if not the best centre-back the last few years in the Premier League, he has to play these games. And especially, he played in Europe as well for his country. So we all know that he is fit.
Yep.
He is capable of playing. I think it's just an authority thing. I think it's a case of, obviously, we know how Spurs are with their structure, with money. They're not going to break any sort of limit for anyone. They don't care who it is, unless maybe it's Harry Kane. So I think it's just an authority thing. I think he's looking at the players and saying, look, these two players want to leave, and if they want to leave, they're just not going to play for the club.
Well, do you know what I would say? The one good thing about it, and we spoke about this with Jose at length yesterday, is that it shows he's the boss. If the board are happy with him doing that, it will allow player power to have no part in decision making and controlling what the manager does. So there is a good side to it. Hello and welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name? Oh, we've been called up by Babe Station. I don't know. Is that Babe Station on the line? I don't know. We'll hang that up anyway. But there we go. What we'll do though, we'll go to the OneFootball app and we'll get that up now. Jay, let me know when it's up on the screen. But I'm looking at the Spurs team here. Previous Spurs caller said about changing the back four.
Yeah.
I don't kind of know what he means. Like, he doesn't want to change.
He doesn't want to change
the players.
Yeah.
I think what you said right. I think they need to, I do think a substitution is needed. We look at that bench, as you said. There's Lucas Moura on the bench. You've got Serge Aurier that might be able to provide a bit more width as well.
Yeah.
Danny Rose could provide a bit more width. I think he's better going forward than Davis is. So you've got some players that can create some width. That's what's needed, I think, in this Spurs team, because the middle's. I know they scored their goal, but that was a wonder strike.
Yeah.
You very rarely score more than one of those. They haven't really. I don't feel for me they've really opened Chelsea up enough. So now they're going to try and they've got to try and spread Chelsea apart. They're going to need to use their wide men. Who would you bring on?
Well, that's the ones that I spoke about, because when you were talking about the defense, I was thinking they haven't got any centre backs on the bench, which means if you were to make a change defensively, I know Vertonghen wouldn't come off, which means it will probably be Sanchez.
Yeah,
and that means you're putting Dyer centre back, and I don't think Dyer has that positional discipline.
Yeah, no,
to be a centre back.
No. I don't see him as a centre back either. Yeah. We're going to look at some of the stats from that first half as well. And interestingly, I mean, Spurs have had nearly 60% of the ball, but that's actually how Chelsea played a lot of their football last year when they won the Premier League, and they've done it well today with their counter-attacks, and that's what Spurs have got to guard themselves against. Not trying. I know what the Spurs fans said who called up. They've got to go for it. If they go for it too much and they're too congested in the middle, this Chelsea side has the ability, with Willian on the pitch, we know how good Eden Hazard could be, to counter-attack and destroy you. Attempts on goal, 7 to Chelsea, 6 to Tottenham at the break. However, 57% of the shots that Chelsea have been on target, only 33 on target from Spurs, and obviously one of those was that wonder strike as well. Yep. That's where Harry Kane, if he's on the bench, he has to be fit enough to play some part in this game, and that's got to be the fear for Chelsea fans. The best striker in the Premier, well, one of the best strikers in the world, coming on against you, dangerous.
I honestly think if he comes on, from the beginning of the second half, I think he can win the game for them, no problem. I really think so.
It's cool. We've got another call we'll take here. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Amar.
Hello, mate. Who do you support?
Chelsea.
Okay, mate. Great. Good to hear from a Chelsea fan. Were you enthused with your team's first half performance? And was it just dampened by that wonder strike at the end? Or can you see big problems with this Chelsea side right now?
I think we played all right. I think Moses was a bit silly in trying to chip whoever that was.
Yeah, that was a bit sloppy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sloppy. I don't really blame Caballero because it dipped quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, that shot was ridiculously good. It's why we've got on the One Football app right now. Christian Eriksen is currently being voted as the man of the match just for that goal. But would you make any changes as far as Chelsea are concerned to try and win this game? Or would you keep things as they are because you believe that you can catch Spurs on the counter-attack?
I would keep things the same because I would say we've had lots of chances, but we haven't really converted them. And like Marcus Alonso, he's going to lots of good positions, but his final pass hasn't been that great.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Javan Williams, one of the commenters on YouTube, has said that I'm more afraid of Eriksen than I am Harry Kane. As a Chelsea fan, would you agree with that comment?
Yeah, I would, because I mean he's world class, and like Harry Kane. He's still probably a bit. I don't think he's fully recovered from his injury, so I don't think he would be as good against us as he can.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for your call. We really appreciate it here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
That term world class is a bit strong for me.
What, Christian Eriksen world class?
Yeah, I'm very strict on the world class term. I don't give it to a lot of players because I feel like there's a level of consistency.
Yeah,
that you have to reach, and he's a very good player. I like Eriksen, I'm a big fan of his, but world class, I can't put him in that bracket. I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I get that completely. Listen, we're going to be back in 45 minutes time, so make sure you come check us out at full time. We'll have the conclusion to this game, and we'll know what's happened. Make sure you download that One Football app for us, because we're going to be using that to review the game at full time. And download the Ultimate Football Fan app as well for all your exclusive UFF content. All the information for that is in the descriptions below. Myself and Michael will be back again at full time. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the second half, and we'll see you all later.